everyone, welcome to my Facebook Live this week. My name's Mandy Witherby and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Sydney, Australia. How is everyone today? Oh, I've got lights before my eyes. I've got lights in front of my face and sometimes they're a little bit bright to begin with till my eyes adjust a little bit. So as you're jumping on, say hi. While we're waiting for everyone to jump on, I'll just bring this up on my iPad so that I can see all of your comments there. Okay. So I've got lots to tell you today and I've got a fun project for us to create today as well. So yes. All right. So welcome. Thank you for being here today. Whether or not you're watching live or watching the replay later or perhaps watching on YouTube later on as well. Hi Sharon, how are you? Great to see you. Hi Robin, how are you? Hi other Sharon. Got my two Sharons on here today. That's awesome. Lovely to see you ladies. So as you're jumping on, feel free to say hi. Give me some thumbs up, some love, so I know you're here. Feel free to share this video as well with your friends. That would be awesome too. And forgive me if I keep looking down. I do have some notes written so that I don't forget to tell you anything today. So I always like to have my notes there. I'm just adjusting that. I feel like every week I cut my head off, or I'm too close to the camera or something. So I'm trying to adjust my camera slightly this week so that I'm not too close. So how's everyone's weekend? Let me know. We had a rainy weekend here in Sydney actually. So it was a good weekend to stay at home. The sun broke through a few times, but majority of the time it was rainy. And today it's been a bit drizzly as well. And rained quite heavily overnight actually. I had to go out this morning and run a few errands and I saw quite a bit of water laying around the place, and in some of the reserves they were a bit flooded, and yeah, hadn't seen any flooding like that for a little while. Hi Jenny, how are you? Great to see you today. Thank you for joining me. And yeah, so I was surprised to see all the water laying around, but it was a little bit drizzly. It stopped at the moment, which is good, but it's still looking a little bit dreary out there. So we might be in for some more rain. We will see. How was it where you all are? If you're in Sydney, I guess you had the same weather as me, although different parts of Sydney have different weather. So hi Amanda, great to see you. Thanks for joining me today. Yeah, so we're out in the western suburbs of Sydney, and the weather out here can be quite different to the city, and temperature wise as well. Oh, you've got sunshine over there in New Zealand, Sharon. Awesome. Beautiful. So what did everybody get up to on the weekend? Let me know how you spent your weekend. Did you get up to some crafting? I did. I've been planning for some upcoming classes, so I've been filming and I've been creating, being very, very creative. So yeah, that's always fun. And doing lots of other things as well. So interesting story last week. If I'm looking a little bit dark under the eyes, I did try to hide it with makeup, but makeup can only do so much. So, oh, hey Ruth. So, can only watch the first bit, then you'll catch the replay. Okay, no worries. And the North Shore's been pouring down rain and cold and windy. Yes, hasn't it been so cold and windy over the weekend? It's been freezing. Hi Rose, how are you? Great to have you here today. How's the weather down there? I bet it's cold at the moment because it's cold up here. Yeah, so as I was going to say, I can only cover up so much with makeup, but I tried to cover the dark circles under my eyes. I've had a sinus infection, and so when I woke up this morning I was really, really dark under the eyes, and I thought, oh, that's not going to look good on camera. So yeah, packed a bit of makeup on there to try and hide it. But yeah, so interesting story. I had my first experience of coronavirus testing last week. I'd had a bit of a sore throat and had to do the right thing because I work in childcare. So, you know, and they do say if you have any mild symptoms, go and get tested. So I went off to get tested on Thursday. Very, very anxious about it because my son and one of our daughters had been tested over the last few weeks when they had colds, and they had to go and get tested. And they told me all these terrible stories about what it was like and how horrible it was and blah, blah, blah. So I was feeling so anxious when I was going there, and I started to get a bit of asthma and things, and thought, no, I'll be okay. Just do it. Just got to do it. So just don't think about it. Just do it. So I went to one of those drive-through ones, and it was really, really good actually. And it took me about half an hour in the queue before I was tested, and the test was hardly anything. And I said to the lady, "Is that it?" She said, "Yes." And I said, "Oh, thank you so much." I said, "I was so anxious. My children had told me all these terrible stories, and I was so worried." And she said, "Oh, well, you know, I think there are some out there that are a bit rougher when they do it, but I've done a lot of testing with older people, so I've learned to be really gentle." So I was so thankful that I got that lady because it actually wasn't too bad at all. And of course the next day was within 24 hours actually. It was only about 22 hours I think from the time I had the test. I got the all clear, so all good. So I'm all good. I'm not contagious in that regard, which is awesome. But I did go to the doctor that afternoon after I got the results, and when I knew it was safe, because of course you have to come home and isolate, and you're not allowed to go out anywhere. Well, you're not supposed to go out or do anything. So I did the right thing and came home and stayed in my craft room and kept away from the family and wore my mask whenever I left my craft room. And anyway, got the all clear, went to the doctor, and yeah, it turns out I had a sinus infection. So that's what was causing my sore throat. But I'm feeling a lot better now. It's just my eyes are still a little bit dark. So, but nasal spray is working well. So that's all good. Oh, it's cold down there, Rose. Clear and sunny. Awesome. Yeah. The swabs, Ruth, were I mean, they're not the most pleasant thing, but you know, because you don't really go shoving things up your nose, but it actually wasn't that bad. It wasn't too bad at all. So I didn't have any long-lasting effects, or wasn't painful or anything. Just felt a little bit uncomfortable, but nothing major. And I envisaged myself choking on this swab when they did my throat and everything, but it wasn't anything like that at all. It was really easy. So if ever you have to get tested, people, don't be frightened. It was, well, my experience anyway, was that it wasn't really a great big deal. I think the lead up to it was more than the test itself. So I was so anxious going there, and then it was good. So yeah, thanks Jenny. Yeah, all good. Yeah, I was pretty confident that I was all okay anyway, because my symptoms sort of weren't getting any worse, and it was just my throat, and I didn't have any other symptoms, and so I was fairly confident that it wasn't coronavirus. But I had to do the right thing and go and get testing, and had to have that time off work, of course, because I can't go back to work. Working in a preschool, I can't be there with any symptoms of anything, so I have to be completely 100% all good before I can return. But I should be back tomorrow because I don't seem to have any symptoms now, so all good. So that is my story about the last few days. So with all the medical appointments and tests and things and backwards and forwards, it did take a bit of time out of my days, I guess. But hi Julie, great to see you. I was in the area today actually, and thought of you as I drove by. And yes, I had to go and run some errands over that way this morning. So yeah, so that is my exciting news. not that it's that exciting, but it was a bit of a story, but all good. And I guess that's just you know, it's probably not going to be the last time I'll have to have that test either, I imagine. So because I think this is going to go on a bit longer than anyone anticipated originally, and so it's going to become the new normal, I think. And working in childcare, we can't be too careful, so I have to, yeah. Any sign of anything and we'll be off getting those tests. At least I won't be scared now. Okay, so I have got, so did anyone, before I move on, did anyone have any exciting news from the weekend, or anything exciting that happened over the weekend that you'd like to share with us? I love sharing stories with people, and you know, this is really, well, apart from going to work 4 days a week, this is kind of my social time, catching up with all of you. So I love to hear from you all and hear how you've been going and about your weekends and things that have been happening in your lives. So if you've got anything that you want to share with us, please feel free to pop it down there in the comments. All right. Can't see anything coming up, so oh yes, that's right, I got to meet Amanda, one of my new recruits, one of my new team members, and that was really lovely. I got to meet her and her whole family, which was really lovely. So Amanda's been with us since the end of June, but because of coronavirus we couldn't meet up for coffee or anything like that, and normally I would have done that, but because we can't have, you know, close contact with people and whatever, but Amanda popped in to pick something up, and so I was able to chat with her outside as we were social distancing, and met her family as well. So yeah, so that was really lovely. Hi Athena, how you going? Oh, you're still working. I think you say that every Monday, Athena. I think you're always working on Mondays when I'm on. But it's great when you can just pop in. I love to see it when I love to see you when you just pop in for a little visit. So don't let me disrupt you though. All right. So remember that we have now live, we've had it for a couple of weeks now, our brand new August to December mini catalogue. So who's been enjoying the mini catalogue? I have been. I've had hi Tina Marie, great to see you. So I have put in a couple of orders from this beautiful catalogue, and I'm getting up quite the lovely supply. So as you do, and especially great being a demonstrator because we get those lovely discounts on all of our products. And so we're going to be playing with some of those new products from this catalogue today. So I will talk to you about that in a moment. Now remember too, we had last month we had our bonus days promotion. Well, now is the time that you can start redeeming. Oh, Athena said all my goodies have finally arrived, just not had time to play. Yes. Oh, that's good and bad, Athena, because it's great that you've got them, but it's bad because you're probably looking at them, I would imagine, as I do, sit there looking at them thinking, I just want to play, but I haven't got time, but I just want to play, but I haven't got time. Oh, hopefully you get time to have a play soon, Athena. Yeah, so anyway, our bonus days. Now, if you earned bonus day coupons in July and the first few days of August, remember to redeem them. You've got until the 31st of August now to redeem them. Yes, lol. Yeah, so you've got until the 31st of August to redeem them. So don't forget about those vouchers or those coupons. You will have been emailed those if you were eligible, and you earned those with purchases of over $90. Silly me, forgot to redeem mine, so don't do what I did. I will redeem them for other things, but I was going to put them towards my new Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And when I placed the order, I was in a hurry to get the order in, and then completely forgot, didn't even think about it till I got home in the afternoon. And then I thought, oh no, I forgot about my vouchers. But I thought, that's okay. There'll be other things that I need that I can redeem them on. And so now tomorrow, which is the next thing I was going to let you know, I'll be able to redeem them because we've got, let me just get my flyer ready. We have got our amazing Paper Pumpkin Box of Sunshine kit launching tomorrow. So that's Tuesday the 11th. The Box of Sunshine Paper Pumpkin kit is launching. Now, it's really exciting for a few different reasons. The first reason is Sarah Douglas, Stampin' Up CEO, has collaborated on this kit this month. So that's really exciting. So it's got touches of Sarah in there. And Paper Pumpkin, you'll see the little logo up the top there. Paper Pumpkin is a big thing in North America with Stampin' Up, because over there they have it as a subscription. So you can subscribe each month, and each month you get a surprise box of all these products, including cards that you obviously put together. So there's a certain number of cards in each kit, and you get a exclusive stamp set and all the embellishments and things like that. And it's a subscription. So each month they can subscribe to it and get a new one each month, which is awesome. Now, we don't have that here, sadly, in the South Pacific. However, last year, for the first time, they brought one over as, well, they released one here in Australia and globally as a very special exclusive offer. And because it went so well, they're doing another one. So that's really exciting. And so this time, it's called a Box of Sunshine. And the reason that it's called a Box of Sunshine, because it's part of the hashtag Share Sunshine initiative, which is to share sunshine with other people and put sunshine into their lives, especially at this time during coronavirus, when there's all this terrible stuff going on and where a lot of people are going through a lot of things. And it's just a great way that we can, you know, share some sunshine with other people and show them that we care for them and that we love them. So in this kit that's coming tomorrow, you'll get enough to make 8 cards, and then the box is really pretty as well, and then you get additional items there as well to decorate the box, and then you can fill that box with things that, so the idea is to put in the box things that are yellow, so like sunshine, yellow or orange, like the color of the sun. And you might like to put some sweets in there or treats or things like that, and maybe one of the cards that you've made, and pop them in there and then give that to somebody. Or there is a postage label in there as well that you can use if you want to post that box to somebody as well. And then that way you can share it with other people. Now, I'm actually planning to buy a few of these kits because I'm going to send some of these kits to some very special people. Some of my family members who won't see this video, so it's okay, I can say it, but I have a couple of aunties who do craft, and I thought this would be a lovely way for me to be able to share some sunshine to them, because they're down in Victoria, so and some are in South Australia, so they're in lockdown, the ones in Victoria. The ones in Adelaide, I'm not even sure what level they're at the moment, but I'm yet to find that out. But anyway, so that's my plan, is to send some over to them. And a couple of my other aunties that don't do craft, I'm going to get my own box of sunshine and make some of the cards and send the cards over to them. So there's just some ideas, but yeah, it's going to be really fun, bright, colourful, cheery. So look out for that tomorrow. It's only $37 in Australia, and you can order that through my online store tomorrow. Okay, so look out for that. It's really exciting. Now, the one thing is too, with this box of sunshine, you do get a stamp set that comes with it, and all of the products to put together for the 8 cards and envelopes that come in the pack, but it doesn't come with a block. So if you don't have a block, you will need a D-sized block. So it's one of the most common ones that we use. So yeah, so if you don't have a block about this size, like it's, let me measure, it's in the catalogue of the actual measurements, but I'll let you know. So this is just over 7 centimeters by 6.5. So about 7 by 6.5 centimeters is the size of the block you need. So if you don't have one, you can purchase these blocks, and you'll find them in the tools section in the annual catalogue. In fact, I'll give you the code. Let me look up the code for you just quickly in case you need one. If you're planning on buying the Box of Sunshine kit, here we go. Block D. Okay, so Block D, the code for that is 118485. Okay, so that's 118485, and you can find them on page 163 of the annual catalogue, and you can see all the different sizes of the blocks there. But I just gave you the code for that D size block. That's the one that's recommended for the kit. That'll fit all of the stamps that are in the kit. Okay, so look out for that. It's really exciting. Now, it's only while supplies last. So once they sell out, that's it. They won't be available anymore. So if you really, really want it, don't wait. Make sure that you pop your order in for that one. Okay, let me know if you have any more questions about the box of sunshine. And I think I have just missed a few comments while I was talking about that. So let me just scroll back. Oh, hi Megan, great to see you. Thanks for being here today. Can you order the paper pumpkin just after midnight tonight? Okay, let me see on my notes here if it tells us what time it will be launched. Usually it is straight after midnight. It's usually about 1 minute after midnight they release it, but let me just have a look and see if they have a time. Because that's probably what I will do too. Actually, because I probably won't have time in the morning before I go off to work. It doesn't tell me a time. Usually they say a time, but it doesn't actually say on my notes here, my demonstrator notes. I've just got that it's available tomorrow, the 11th of August. And it doesn't tell me a time. Oh, let me give you the product code of the kit though. The product code of the box of sunshine paper pumpkin here in Australia, the code is 155231. So I'll say that again, and perhaps if Amber's watching, she could put that in the comments for us. 155231. Okay, and that's $37 here in Australia. But yeah, sorry Megan, it's not actually telling me what time it's going to be available. Just wondering if I've missed it somewhere. Nope, can't see anywhere. That's unusual. They usually tell us what time it'll be available. I'm assuming it'll be 1 minute past midnight, but I could be wrong. I'm not sure. Yeah, that's exactly right, Megan. I guess we just try and see, and if it doesn't come up, then we'll know we're a little bit early and we'll have to wait a little bit. Okay. Oh, you're going to as well, Amanda? You're going to send some to your friends in Melbourne. Awesome. And going to send a complete box for her to create. Yeah, I was thinking about that with a couple of my aunties that like doing card making and paper crafts. I'm going to send them the actual whole box. So, yeah. Yeah, definitely, Tina. They need a pick-me-up. Yeah, because, you know, some of them are struggling. Oh, thank you, Amber. Amber has just popped up the code with the name and the price here in Australia. Thanks for that, Amber. Yes, there are some mini paper pumpkin boxes as well in the annual catalogue, so you can purchase them and make a few additional boxes of sunshine. Thank you, Ruth. I've actually got them here. Yeah, let me grab them and I'll show you. So then if you want to create some more boxes of sunshine for other people, because with the paper pumpkin you'll only get the one box, and then you've got the 8 cards and the stamp set and all the other bits and pieces inside it. But if you want to create more boxes, then you can buy the mini paper pumpkin boxes. So these are exactly the same size and they come flat packed like that. And then you can, so these ones are actually smaller than the usual paper pumpkin boxes. They're minis, but same sort of idea, but then you can decorate them up and they're all scored and everything as well. You just have to fold them up into the box. Then you can decorate them and then send those to people or give them to people as well to share sunshine that way as well. So even if you don't want to make up all the cards that are in the paper pumpkin box, if you had these other mini boxes, you could use some of those elements to decorate these boxes up as well. So that would be a great idea too. Thanks for that, Ruth. Thanks for reminding me about that. Hi, Chitska. Great to see you. Hi, Diane. Great to see you. Ah, thank you, Diane. It's lovely to see you too, even though I can't see you, but I can chat with you here. Oh, you've got them to make thank you gifts too. Awesome, Julie. Fantastic. Yeah. I'm getting some ideas for a lot of gift packaging for Christmas already. I know we're only in August, but with the launch of the August to December mini catalogue, it's making me think so much about Christmas at the moment. So getting together in my mind some ideas of different gift packaging. We've got so much on offer at the moment. We've got the round tins in the, I keep on going to call it the holiday catalogue because that's what we used to call it. The mini catalogue. So we've got the round containers, we've got those mini paper pumpkin boxes, we've got our regular little pizza boxes, we've got gift bags, we've got the coffee cup carriers. I'm planning to do some things with the coffee cup carriers as well. I was going to play with those today with you online, but I didn't have time to prepare anything in advance for those. I needed a bit more time to prep those. So hopefully in the next couple of weeks I'll do something with those with you. We've also got rectangle tins, we've got mosaic gusseted bags. If you have a look in your mini catalogue on page 78, I'll just, oh, I'm losing all my notes now. Hang on a minute. Just lost everything on the floor. There's a whole heap of packaging down there. So you can use some of those for gift ideas, either for Christmas or for birthdays, anniversaries. We've got Father's Day coming up as well. You would even be able to use some of those for Father's Day gifts as well. Just obviously not with Christmas papers, but some of those papers have got plain designs that aren't Christmas themed. So there's blues and reds and greens. Then we've got all the autumn papers in the mini catalogue as well. And then of course we've got all of the other beautiful designer series papers in the annual catalogue too. So lots and lots of ideas. I've dropped my notes on the floor. Let me pick up my notes. Oh, there we go. Okay, so moving right along, we will keep going. I also wanted to let you know that I have my, with the mini catalogue or any new catalogue that comes out, I have been running paper shares with each of those new catalogues. Now with the mini catalogue paper share, I was closing that off a few days ago, but I still have a couple of more paper shares available, but today has to be the last day. I have to close it off today. So if you would like to participate in that paper share, let me know and I can send you. There has been information up on my Facebook page over the last few days or last week or couple of weeks about it. So let me know. All of this information is on there, but you will need to complete a registration form which I can email to you, which is over the page, this one here. So you'll need to complete one of those to participate. So let me know if you would like to participate in my paper share. Basically what a paper share is I just double worded then. A paper share is where you share in the packets of papers that I'm including in the share, and there's 9 different packets of papers. So we've got some 12 by 12, some 6 by 6s, and basically you're getting a quarter of each of those packets of papers. So they're full packets, so you're getting a quarter of a full packet of paper. And you get a total of 66 pieces of designer series paper or patterned paper in that share. Okay, the price is $55. If you're local, you're welcome to come and pick it up from me. If you're further away, you can pay $8.95 for postage, and that includes tracking, and I can ship that out to you. But yes, today is the last day. So if you would like to participate in that paper share and get some of those beautiful designer series papers from the mini catalogue, the ones that I've been showing over the last few weeks, then definitely let me know today, and I'll show you. Here's the papers here on page 79. There's a bit of an overview of all of the papers there. Now I've got 9 of the, I'm using just the Christmas themed ones in the paper share, so not the autumn or the Halloween or the gingham one, they call them plaid, but all of the other ones, so all of these ones are all in the paper share. Okay, and this one too. Yeah, so they're all the ones. Oh, you'd like to do the paper share, Rose? Awesome, fantastic. Let me write that down and I can email that to you as soon as I finish my live, Rose. I can email you the registration form. Okay, so Rose, paper share, Great. Fantastic. I'll send that down to you this afternoon or this evening. Well, by the time I finish, it'll probably be evening. That'd be great, Rose. Fantastic. Thank you for that. Alrighty. Yeah, so if anybody else would like to participate in that, please let me know. Now that Rose has said yes, I think I've only got one left. So if you want that last one, let me know. Otherwise, then I'll need additional few to fill another paper share, because I've got to have 4 each share that I have. So yeah. Okay. So that is that. Now, also too, just to let you know, us demonstrators have been able to order our beautiful new Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Now, I have ordered mine. I was hoping it would arrive today in time for our Facebook Live, but unfortunately it hasn't. I know it has shipped and it's on its way to me, so maybe it'll turn up tomorrow. But I was hoping it would turn up today so that I could share it with you, because I'm so excited. I can't wait. But no, I've had to use my old machine for today, but that's all good. So as demonstrators, we can purchase this now. Now I want to tell, if you're interested in getting this new Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, let me tell you about a great offer and a cheaper way of you being able to get this. So if you purchase the starter kit and become part of my team as a happy shopper, which means you'll get discounts on all of your future purchases, you're only going to pay $169. Now, the machine, so we're talking about the big machine at the moment. The mini machine isn't available yet. That'll be available a bit later, but it's not available yet. So we're talking about the big machine at the moment. The large machine, or the big machine, the big boy, that's normally $209. But when you purchase your starter kit, you only pay $169. So if you purchase the starter kit and put the new Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine in your starter kit, you're only going to pay $169 for it instead of $209. And then, so you're actually saving $40 on the machine. That's a huge saving, $40. Not only that, but then once that's in your starter kit, you'll still have another $26 of product that you can put in your starter kit as well. Anything that you want to the value of $26, you can also put in your starter kit as well. So there might be some embellishments you would like, or you can stock up on cardstock or inks or adhesives, tools, anything that you like, you can pop in the starter kit with your machine and only pay $169. So how cool is that? And then after that, as being part of my team, and you'll then become a demonstrator. Now, don't be worried. The term demonstrator is just a term. It doesn't mean you have to demonstrate. You can just purely purchase the products for yourself, and a lot of my ladies do that, and that's great. I'm glad that those people are able to get that discount, and we have a fabulous team of beautiful, beautiful ladies who are all so lovely. It is a huge saving, isn't it, Tina Marie? It's amazing. Yeah, and so then you become part of our team, and you can join our little community and share your creations with us if you'd like to. But if you don't want to, that's okay. There's no pressure to do that either. But just become part of our team. Then if you decide that you don't want to stick around and you decide, no, it's not really for me, then that's not a problem. You just go back to being a customer. So there's no locking contracts or anything like that. So it's as easy as that. So if you would like to know about that, a bit more about that, feel free to get in contact with me. Send me a private message, or you can email me at mandyspapercraftcreations@gmail.com, or you can go straight to my blog, and you'll see my blog in a moment when I put the camera down to the desktop. And I do have a join button there on my blog on the left hand side. Sorry, this side. I'm always working in reverse. On the left hand side, you'll see a join button. So you can click on that join button and just go through the process and join up without even speaking to me if you don't want to. So if you're planning on getting a machine, seriously consider putting it in your starter kit. And then, you know, it's up to you what you do after that. Okay, there's no pressure from me at all. There's no pressure from Stampin' Up. You don't need to sell to people. You can just buy the products for yourself and enjoy that discount. Okay, so I'll leave that with you to think about, but what a fantastic saving. If I wasn't already a demonstrator, I know that's what I would be doing. And I'm sure a lot of you that are demonstrators are probably thinking the same thing as well. Yeah, so basically when you purchase the starter kit, it's only, oh, hi Tracy, how you going? Great to see you. No worries. I'm still just giving the news. I was just talking about the new Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I've just ordered mine and I'm waiting for it to be delivered. I was hoping it would be here today, but no, we didn't get any deliveries today. So hopefully tomorrow it'll arrive. Yeah, so you only pay $169 for that starter kit, but you choose $235 worth of value. So that's retail value. So that's why you can get the machine and then another $26 to spend and only pay $169 for a $200.09 machine. I could say it over and over and over, but I think you get the idea. But I'm just so excited about that offer, and I hope that lots of people are able to take up that offer and enjoy that discount. All right, let's get on to some creative time. I have been talking for a really long time, I think. What's the time? Oh yes, I have. I am a good talker. Yes, it is. I'm really excited. I can't wait to get mine, Tracy. I've seen lots of other demonstrators already got theirs and I'm like, oh, mine's not here yet. They must have got their order in just a little bit before me. I think when I ordered it, it was on the first day that we could place the order, and it was around about lunchtime. It was on my lunch break, I think I did it. And but I'm sure other people that have already got theirs probably put theirs in early in the morning. So alrighty, so we are going to be, oh, you know what? I just put away my catalogue and we're going to be using that. Let me get that back. I have to reach for it. There it is. I was going to show you what we're going to be playing with. So let me get that ready. Okay, there we go. All right, so let me tip the camera down and we can get started on our creative time. All right, so I will cover up the camera for a moment and I'll just get everything ready. So bear with me for a moment as I get everything ready. If you're just joining me, feel free to say hi. We're just about to start our creative time, so I'm just going to adjust the camera and the lighting down onto the desk so we can start creating. So just give me a moment while I get everything set up ready. Here we go. Okay, nearly there. Get our lights adjusted. Okay, and we'll see how straight I got it today. Now I had this set up already for the weekend when I was doing some filming, but I'm not sure if it's going to be in exactly the same spot this time. No, it's not. I need to bring that forward. Here we go, and that way. Move you over a bit. There we go. And if that's not right, then I'll have to move my mat. Okay, no, I did that the wrong way, didn't I? That ended up further away. If I bring that down there, is that better? Okay, I had my mat stuck down in place with blue tack so that it wouldn't move on me when I was filming. There we go. I think we need to go back a little bit. I think we're a little bit close. There, how's that looking now? We'll get there. We'll get it all lined up in a moment. Takes a little bit of adjusting sometimes because I'm just using the one camera. I don't have a big setup with multiple cameras. I just use the one camera. So I always have to do, it takes me a little bit just to do the adjusting. And then once we're all adjusted, we'll be all good to go. Okay, so I think we are just about right now. All right, so you can see there my my blog. My blog is mandyspapercraftcreations.blogspot.com. And if you go there to my blog, you will see my shop tab. So up on the top left hand side you'll see my shop tab or shop button. You can click on that and go straight through to my online store. Now if you wanted to order that beautiful box of sunshine paper pumpkin box tomorrow on the 11th, go into my blog and then just click on that shop tab and you'll be able to purchase that right there. And we did have the code for that that Amber posted in the comments too. So if you want to scroll back through the comments, you'll see the code there for the box of sunshine. Now also too, if you are purchasing through my online store, please remember to use my host code. This is my August host code here. And when you purchase using my host code, you will always get a thank you card from me. And if your purchases are over $50, then you'll get a thank you gift as well. Okay, so remember to use my host code when you're shopping with me in my online store. And you just pop that in once you finish putting in all of your products before you get through to the register. So it all looks a little bit different now on the new online store. Thanks, Megan. There you go. Megan's just popped up the code again for us. Thanks, Megan. So that is for that 155231 is for the box of sunshine. So we're very excited about that releasing tomorrow. Okay, so we are going to be playing with some products from the new August to December 2020 mini catalogue. And we're going to be playing with some of the products from the Wonder of the Season Suite. Sorry, trying to get my mouth around that. Wonder of the Season Suite. And this is a really big suite. So there are a couple of different stamp sets in this one. The thing I love about the Stampin' Up catalogues too is that we have all these samples of projects to help us, to inspire us, to give us ideas. We can case them. Well, today we are actually going to do just that. We're going to case one of the projects from the catalogue. So here are all the products from this suite. Now I don't have all of the products from this suite, but I do have some of them. You can purchase each of these products separately, or you can purchase the entire suite with just one code. And if you just want to purchase the entire suite, the code is over here. Okay. It also shows you all of the coordinating colors in this suite as well. Or you can just purchase the individual products. So the things I do have is I have the 2 sets of designer series papers, which are both amazing. I have the Cherish the Season Bundle, which has the beautiful bells, and that's the one we're going to use today. And what else did I have? I didn't get the ribbon, that's right. And I didn't get the gems because I have other red and sparkly gems. So I didn't get those, but that's what we're going to be playing with today. So then if you turn over the page to pages 32 and 33, it shows you a close-up image of the stamp set. So this is the Wishes and Wonder stamp set, and it has coordinating dies. So you can buy them individually, or you can buy them together as a bundle and save 10%. So if you want to do that, the information and the code is up here. It's also on the previous page as well that we just looked at. Okay, but this is the one over here that we're going to be playing with today, the Cherish the Season Bundle. So the Cherish the Season Bundle has the Cherish the Season stamp set with these beautiful bells and the leaves there, and you've got some sentiments too. And then, let me move my sticky note. And then you've got the Sounds of the Season dies. Okay, so again, you can purchase them separately or purchase them together as a bundle and save 10% and just use that one code there as the bundle. If you're purchasing them separately, they do have their own individual codes, but if you're purchasing as a bundle, then you use this one here. And if you're purchasing the whole suite, then you have the suite code over the page on page 31. Okay. So the card we're going to be making today is this one here. So I'm going to leave this out as my little ready reference. We're going to be creating this card here. I'm just changing a few little things up. I've changed the colors of the green. I've changed to a different DSP, although it's from the same DSP suite, DSP packet, sorry. And I'm using a different ribbon because I didn't have this particular ribbon. So I'm using a different ribbon. So let's get along and play with this one. So here is my bits and pieces for my card. Now I'm using one of the designer series papers that's from the suite, which is the 'Tis the Season 6x6 designer series paper. And this one has 48 sheets of paper in here. And as you can see, I've started to use some. I've cut them down. But these are gorgeous. They're all double-sided. And so there are 12 different designs, double-sided. And then you get 4 of each. So as you can see, look at that one. I love that one. So they're all double-sided. Okay, so there's lots and lots and lots in there. They'll keep you going for a very long time. I won't pull them all out. I did have them all out on my live, was it last week or the week before? A couple of weeks ago. I had all the papers out on my live, so I won't go over that again because that would take more time and we want to get crafting. And then I've got the stamp set and the dies. And we are going to be using an additional set of dies as well. We're just going to be using the rectangle stitched dies, which a lot of you know are one of my favorites. I use them a lot. And we're just using this one here for the sentiment label. Ooh, I'm just using this long one here for the sentiment label, which I've already pre-cut, ready to go. But I'll keep them out handy just in case I need a spare one. Okay, now to save time, oh, the ribbon we're using is from, this one I think is from the annual catalogue actually. This one is the Real Red double stitched satin ribbon, and I just opened this one today when I was preparing for this Facebook Live, and it is really beautiful. It's, excuse my dry hands, it's from all the sanitizer. I guess everyone's hands are the same at the moment. But it's this beautiful satin ribbon with this double stitched edge. I'm not sure how if the camera will bring that up, but it's really, really pretty ribbon. So that's the one we're going to be using today. And we've got our red rhinestone basic jewels, which we'll be using as well. Now I've gone ahead, just to save time, I've gone ahead and prepped everything. I have even die cut the bells that we're going to be using today from our dies. Now when you die cut these bells, and these have got extra little bits as well for their middles. So these are the bits that go on their middles. So we're going to need our fine tip glue pen, I think, for this one. Oh, this one's a bit delicate. There we go. I didn't get my fine tip glue pen down. I better get that. We're going to need that today. Okay. They are pretty, aren't they, Amanda? More for your wish list. Amanda was just telling me on the weekend about her growing wish list. And I said to her, yeah, like the rest of us, our wish lists just keep growing and growing. The more things we see that other people are using, we think, oh, I really like that. Oh, I really like that too. Oh, I really like that. And our wish lists just keep growing. That's a good thing about being a demonstrator. We get all of those beautiful things at a discount. All right, and I've got some leaves here as well. Some pine leaves. Oh, you've got these ones, Amanda? Awesome. Oh, okay, no worries. You have a great afternoon, Amanda. And I hope you enjoy the replay later on. See you later. I mean, Athena, not Amanda, Athena. Sorry, Athena. Okay, so we've got our leaves. Sorry, I'm trying to pick them up off my desk. They're a little bit hard to pick up. There we go. So I've pre-cut some of these as well. Now let me go through all the different elements for you. We're starting with, gee, I'm all fingers and thumbs today trying to pick everything up. We're starting with a Real Red card base, and this is half of an A4 sheet of cardstock. So it measures at 21 centimeters by 14.85. So I've basically cut a half of a sheet of A4 at 14.85, and then I've scored and folded that at 10.5 centimeters. No, the camera doesn't do them justice. I agree, Amber. They're really detailed and beautiful. I will hold them up to the camera shortly because you can't actually see all the detail in them really well on camera. So that's our card base. Then we've got our designer series paper, as I mentioned, and that is cut at 10.5 by 14.85. So this time, usually when I make my cards, I have a little border, but this time we're having the card front, this full, or the DSP, sorry, the full size of the card front. Okay, so that's going to be completely one color, no border on that one. Then we've got a piece of shaded spruce. The shaded spruce is 6 by 8 centimeters by 13.8 centimeters. Then we've got our whisper white, which is 6.5 centimeters by 13.5 centimeters. And this is the one we're going to do a little bit of stamping and then construct our design onto this piece here. Now our sentiment label is cut out of Just Jade, and the leaves we have in Just Jade and shaded. Just tried to call me, so hopefully that didn't interrupt our live. No, it looks like we're still going, so all good. All right, so let me hold up one of the bells to the camera and see if you can see that. So you can see all the die cut detail there, and in fact the die does die cut out all of those little holly berries and holly leaves. I've left them in at the moment because I want, so you can punch them out, you can put another color behind it, you can cut these out in silver, but we're actually going to do some coloring on this, so I've left them in. Now they're just sitting there at the moment, but if I touch them or play with them too much, they're actually going to fall out. So to keep them in there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn these over. Now these would look awesome cut in silver as well, the little one, but I'm going to color these ones, and you'll see when I do it. The little one here, this one just has embossed leaves on it, so that one's not die cut. The leaves on that one are not die cut, they're just sort of embossed into the bell itself. Okay, but these other ones, we need to hold those leaves in place. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a piece of tear and tape across the back of all of those, just to be sure that they're going to stay put. And I think I'm probably going to need a couple of pieces. So I'll get my tape scissors out and actually what I might do is I'll just cut some strips this way and just put some tear and tape down. You could even put a piece of cardstock, an extra piece of cardstock on the back of these if you want to hold those in place. But I just thought, to be quick and easy, I'll just use the tear and tape today. So I'll pop another one over there, and I will be removing the backing of that tear and tape when I go to put my dimensionals down, because these will all be dimensionalized later on. But we want to hold them in place because we're going to do some coloring first. All right, and these extra little bits, you might be wondering what they're for. They're actually for their little middles. So it just gives a bit of dimension to, I'll hold that up again. It just gives a bit of dimension to the center of the bell, because you know when you get a bell, like there'll be the two sections of the bell, the top and the bottom where they're joined, and that is just the added little bit there on their middles. Okay, so we'll start with those and we'll color those up, and I'm just going to do that with some Stampin' Blends, and then while that is drying, then we can start constructing the rest of our cards. So let me move our leaves off to the side. So we'll color these, let them dry. While they're drying, we'll do our other stamping and start to do our constructing. Now I'm going to use some Stampin' Blends to color these. And I think what I'm going to do, now I haven't made this card before because I'm just casing the catalogue, and so yeah, so I don't have a sample one made, but I did look up the instructions of how to make it. So with the bells here, they've actually been coloured with Stampin' Blends. So I'm going to have a go with my Stampin' Blends and hope that mine turn out as pretty as these ones. This one too has got 4 bells on the, and probably they're not showing up as well on camera. But if you have your catalogue, go to page 33. You'll be able to see it a lot better there. It's got a 4th little tiny bell there, but I didn't bother with that one because I thought I just wanted the 3 bells. Yeah, so we'll try with the blends and we'll see how we go. I think I'm going to use so I've got all of my blends out. I also got my Stampin' Write markers out too, because the berries and the holly leaves are so small. You could use your Stampin' Write markers as well. If you prefer to use Stampin' Write markers for those parts. But if you're colouring the whole bell, I would suggest you use Stampin' Blends because you'll get a much smoother finish. Whereas if you were colouring that big large section with your Stampin' Write markers, they might look a bit streaky. Okay, so I'm going to start with colouring the holly berries and the leaves first. And I'm just going to... So I think I'll use my dark real red, which is this one here, for the holly berries. And for the leaves, what have we got? So we've got, so I got out Shaded Spruce and the Just Jade. And I'm just having a look on my little chart here. I think I'm going to use I might use the light Shaded Spruce, and then we'll see. And if it's not dark enough, then we can go with the dark Shaded Spruce, because the dark Shaded Spruce is quite dark. Which one's this one? That's the light Shaded Spruce. All right, so I'll leave that one there. And this is the dark real red for the berries. So let's just test that. Oh yes, that'll be lovely. All right, so I'm going to use the bullet tip for the berries because the berries are really small. Sorry, Tina has just asked, what is the difference between the markers and the blends? Okay, great question, Tina Marie. So the Stampin' Write markers, which are these ones, they are a water-based ink. So basically they are the same as the ink that we get in our ink pads. Okay, so they're water-based. You do still have 2 ends. You have a brush tip end, and you have a fine tip end, okay, but they are water based, so they're more like your traditional marker or texter. Okay, so as you probably know, sometimes when you're coloring wide like large sections, they can look a little bit streaky, so it depends on what you're coloring and the different effect that you'll get. Now these ones do not blend together because they are a marker. Okay, so you have the individual colors. For these ones, there's only 1 color per color of ink pad. So we have, for each color of ink pad we do have a Stampin' Write marker, except for the Whisper White. But we do have a black one as well. And so, yeah, there's only 1 single color for each color of ink. Whereas with the Stampin' Blends, these are an alcohol-based marker. So let me get the 2. Is that the... Yeah, so that's the dark and the light of the Shaded Spruce. So for each of the colors that we have in the Stampin' Blends, and there's not one for exactly every color of ink pad that we have. There's a lot. We do have a lot. We have the majority of them, but not every single color because some of the colors are quite similar. So we have a light and a dark, and you purchase them as a combo together. Now these blend together beautifully and you get a much smoother effect. So when you're working with the blends, because they're alcohol based, they dry very quickly. They evaporate. You can use them on non-porous surfaces as well. So you can use them to color your rhinestones, to color your pearls. You can use them on acetate. Whereas with the Stampin' Write markers, they don't dry well on, sorry, not on acetate, on vellum. The Stampin' Write markers don't dry well on vellum, whereas the Stampin' Blends do because they're alcohol based. And you can get tone because you've got the different colors, and you can combine colors as well. So you can use, for instance, you might want to use all of these greens together and you can get different tones, and you can even use oranges and reds together, oranges and yellows together, and blend them in together, and you get different tonal colors in them. I guess similar to if you're working with watercolors or painting and that sort of thing, where you get different, you know, you add different colors in to get different tones and colorations. Similar with the blends. But yes, so these ones have to be stored flat because of the way that the ink is inside them. Because if you store them upright like that, the ink will absorb down to one end, and then the other end of your marker will be, or your blend will be dry, will become dry. So they have the two tips again. We've got the brush tip and the bullet tip. Okay, so the bullet tip on this is a bit thicker than the fine tip on the Stampin' Write marker. But I love the blends. I love the effect that the blends get, so that you can get with the blends, I should say. So my advice to people is, if they want to try them out, is to just perhaps get one or two colors that they think would be ones that they would use more, and have a go with them and have a play, and see how you like them. But you do get a really nice smooth effect with them. All right, so let me go back to Shaded Spruce was the one I had, wasn't it? I got them mixed up then when I picked them up. There we go. The other thing too with the Stampin' blends is that you have to be sure that you cap the lids really tightly, and you'll notice they click when you put them on, and you've got to press them really hard. You hear that click? Because that's causing the seal there so that the alcohol doesn't evaporate. The other thing with the Stampin' blends is that they dry really quickly too, because of that alcohol in the pen. All right, so I'm probably not going to be doing any blending on this, however, because the detail on here is quite small. Now the thing with the blends too is, as you're putting it down on the cardstock, it will continue to absorb into that cardstock and spread. So you don't want to go too heavy with it. And it's always good with the Stampin' blends. The Stampin' blends, unfortunately, no, Jenny, they're not refillable, these ones. These ones don't have refills with them. At this point, maybe down the track they might have, but at this point, no, they don't. What's I going to say? Can't remember what I was going to say. I don't know. Can't remember. It'll come back to me. All good. All right. And I'm not sure if I was going to try the light first, wasn't I, with the Shaded Spruce with the leaves. Let's see. Yeah, that could be a good colour for the leaves. Let's see. We can always go back over them with the dark if we think that it needs a bit more colour. I also like to add highlights with my blends. So if I'm doing leaves and things, I like to add in some detail with the darker colour. And then that way too, with you blend it back over again with the lighter colour, so you don't have any of those harsh lines, but you still have that highlighting in the colour. So I like to do that as well. Yes, they do spread. That's what I was saying. Thanks, Tina. Yeah, so when you're working with Stampin' blends, it's a good idea to use the thicker cardstock, so the thick Whisper White or the thick Very Vanilla, because they do bleed through your cardstock. And you might notice that I've got an additional piece of grid paper here down on top of my grid paper that I was working on before, because they will bleed through the cardstock. And I'll show you that in a moment when I turn it over, you'll see. So the blends come in the combos of the light and the dark in the colors that are available, and you can find them in the annual catalog. It's $15.50 for the two colors, so they're very affordable. And the good thing too about them is they coordinate with all of our Stampin' Up color range. So they're in our, I need to put my glasses on. I just realized I'm straining my eyes here doing this coloring. There we go, that'll be better. Also too, the lids are nestable, so you don't lose your lid. You can just pop it on the other end. So I'm just going really carefully with this because I don't want it to, I don't want to go outside of those lines. And yeah, so they are fun to work with. Last year in May, I think it was, I actually did a class with on the blends of how to use them, which was quite a while ago. So it might be time for me to do another class with the Stampin' Blends, I think, very soon, because I've had quite a few people asking me about them. All right, so for the bells themselves, we're going to color them with the light gray granite. I'm probably not going, and I'll use the brush end this time, I'm probably not going to bother with doing any highlighting on them with the darker color. All right, so we'll just do that bit. Now, of course, when you're working with the Stampin' Blends, the more of the color that you lay down, the darker it's going to get. So you can do a bit of highlighting with the one color, but of course, if you want really deep highlighting, then you would use the dark color. There we go. So we've got our little circles there, and the blends do last a long time. We use them quite often. I think maybe we replaced one amber. I think I remember replacing one of the yellows at one stage. That's the only one since we've had them, and we've had these for a couple of years now. And Stampin' Up keep on adding more colors to them. And of course, every time we get the new in colors, then we get the Stampin' Blends in colors as well. So yeah, so there's quite a few color choices, and I love that they coordinate with all of our other products as well, which makes our life very easy, because then it takes the guesswork out of trying to you know, match up colors to our cardstock and our inks and things like that. Well, we know which color to use because we have a blend in the same color. So I'm just going very carefully around the parts that I've already colored, just going very lightly there. I'm going to go around all those leaves and berries. And I usually like to use a circular motion when I colour with these, because I just find that it gives a nicer effect. And get in there between the flowers and the berries. Good idea to colour those darker sections first before doing the grey. And this grey gives a good sort of silvery look, the grey granite. There we go. So if I want to colour stamps with the markers, yes, if you want to colour your stamps, so if you want to do multicolour stamping, you need to use the Stampin' Right markers, not the Stampin' Blends, because the Stampin' Blends ink is alcohol based. It will actually stick to your stamps and you won't get that back off. Whereas with the Stampin' Right markers being water based, it'll wash back off just like you wash off your ordinary inks. So yes, definitely don't use your Stampin' Blends on your directly onto your stamps. There we go. So there's our first one, and we'll do the second one here. Also too, with the Stampin' Right markers, so these ones, you can use them for watercolouring techniques as well. So that's another good thing with those. So they do, each of the pens is different and they have their different uses, and they're good for different things. So I have both. I like to work with both for different things. So you can do lots of your watercolouring techniques, your sploosh, your smooshing, I was going to say splooshing, your smooshing techniques with your Stampin' Right markers. But yeah, if you want to do any blending sort of things, then you use these ones. Okay, so that is that one done. Oop. And then we can go on to our little one. And there is a smaller bell as well, a little tiny one, but I didn't use that one today. It wasn't really seen very easily on the card, so I thought, oh, I'm not going to worry about that extra little one. So then if you wanted to come in with a bit of the dark grey granite, if you wanted to add any highlights, you can. I'm probably not going to worry to do that today. But also too, so there we go. There we go. Also too, we have our colour lifter with our Stampin' Blends. So I'll just touch up some of these little spots I can see I've missed here and there. So we do have our colour lifter as well. So what the colour lifter does is, yes, smooshing is a technique, Tina. I actually just did that in our technique club last month. That was our technique last month, using the smooshing technique. So it's pretty fun. You get heaps of really good backgrounds and things like that. Oh, hi, there's Tina Johnson. Hi, Tina, how you going? I just saw that you had jumped on. Thanks for being here. Yeah, so we have our colour lifter as well, which will shift the colour. So it doesn't actually erase the colour, but it actually will just shift and give highlights. So if you want to give a little bit of a highlight to the top of the bell, so we might put a little bit of a highlight just here, and it won't be evident straight away, but as that dries, let's do the same on all three so they're all in the same spot. And as that dries, that's actually just moving the ink around and just creating a little bit of a highlight there. And then we can put another bit down here on the opposite side, just where the light would be hitting the bell and sort of, you know, creating a bit of reflection is where you would put that. There we go. So you can see that. You might be able to see that starting to show up a little bit now. I'll go down here a little bit more with that one. There we go. And also too, the colour lifter is great for if you make any boo-boos when you're colouring stamped images. If you go out of the lines or anything like that, you can actually push the colour back inside the lines using the colour lifter. Now the other thing is too, if you are stamping and then colouring with your Stampin' Blends, you need to use either the classic Stampin' pads, so these ones, or the Memento. If you want a black one, you need to use the Memento black ink. It won't work with the Stays On because it will just smudge the Stays On. So they're the options of for using the blends. All right, so I'll show you how that color has gone through. Now I'm not sure if you'll be able to tell really on, because I've got the tape over the green bit, but the colored bits, but you'll see if I lift that off perhaps. Oh no, you can't see as much. But I'm not sure if you can tell. You can see how it looks a little bit mottly there. That's because that gray has absorbed through the cardstock and it's come through to the back. So that's why you've always got to protect your work surface. I always thought smooshing was kissing. No, that's smooching. Yeah, that's right, smooching, not smooshing. So can you see where I've put down the color lifter just there and there? It's given a little bit of highlight and it's just taken away that, it's lightened up that color a little bit to add like a little bit of effect. It's great on balloons as well, because you know with balloons you get that bit of a light reflection. It's great for that too. All right, so we'll pop on our little strips here onto our bells. Oh, these are a little bit fiddly. Here we go. So I'm just going to use some of our fine tip glue pen for this. And just pop that down over that embossed part there, which is the center of the bell. And that just gives a little bit more dimension to your bell. We'll do the same with the other two. Okay, we'll pop that one down. Now, if you find with your color lifter that you've gone a bit heavy with the color lifter and it's removed a bit more than what you wanted, you can wait for it to dry and then you can go back over it again with your color of your blends. So you can always retouch it up if you need to with your colour, but you need to wait for it to dry first, because otherwise it'll just start to blend, as the name suggests. There we go. So pop that little one down there. There we go. So now all of our bells have got their little middles, their little belly bands. And I'll straight away cap this so that I don't... Oh, no worries, Amanda. Thanks for being here as long as you could. And I look forward to seeing you on the replay. Alrighty, so there we go. So there's our bells already done, ready to go. Okay, I think we are ready to start constructing. Oh, we need to do our stamping now. So let's do that. Okay, so I'm going to be using the leaves, and we'll get our sentiment out as well. So I'm using the leaves here, and I'm using this big sentiment here that says, "May you cherish the wonder of the season now and throughout the year." And so I will just mount those up. Actually, I'll see if these ones will fit on a smaller block. Yes, they will. Good. I'll put them on that one, and this one will fit on here. Let me just put that down on my grid paper to get that nice and straight, and then I'll get that onto my block. There we go. Alrighty. So we'll do our leaves first, and then we'll do our sentiment, because we're going to be doing our sentiment in Versamark, and then we're going to be embossing that. I'll just leave my bells over there to finish drying. So with... Oh, in fact, I need to wait till we position all of our bells and our leaves to see where I'm going to... Well, actually, I can do that now. They're dry enough. I need to work out where this is going to go. So I'm using my catalogue as reference because it's the catalogue that I'm casing today. So I'm using that as my reference to work out where all of these bits are going to go, so I can see where I need to stamp my leaves. So we've got some die cut leaves, and then we're going to have some stamped leaves as well. And we need room for our bow. So how about we might make our bow actually, so we can see how big that bow is going to be, so we can know how much room we're going to need to leave for that bow. Love this double stitch satin ribbon, so pretty. All right, so we'll just... I didn't have my bow pre-tied, did I, today? Often on my lives I try to pre-do them so that because I'm always bow challenged when I try to do it live. Oh, there we go. Actually, I didn't do such a bad job. That ribbon's easy to tie, which is good. Okay, so let's just cut our ends there. Might need to trim them up a little bit. Might be a bit too long. There, we'll start with that, and then we can always trim them down a bit more if we need to. Okay, so that is going to be going at the top there. And then this is all going to be layered onto here and here. So I'm just trying to work out the positioning of everything. So that's going to look like that. All right, and then we're going to be placing our leaves on there. Okay, so we want to be stamping some of our leaves, and we're going to be stamping them in Just Jade. So we want to be stamping some down over here and up the top. I actually think it won't matter too much where we stamp them, to be honest, because I think they're going to be, they'll be in a good position wherever we stamp them. I hope. Famous last words. All right, so that's given me a bit of an idea. So we'll do this bit first. Bow challenge. Yes, I'm very much bow challenged, Tina Marie. Oh, especially when I try and do it on a live, I'm just going to test this color first before I stamp that on my piece. That's very dark. Is that going to be... I might actually stamp them off. Yes, I think I'm going to stamp them off because I think they're very dark, first generation. So let me move these ones. I'll pop this over here. So we're going to stamp these off, which means stamping them second generation, which basically just means you're going to ink up your stamp them off onto scrap paper, and then stamp them down onto your finished piece. So we're stamping in second generation. I'll put some up here. And that way, then they're not too heavy. I might have some coming down here. There we go. All right, now we'll just leave that there for a sec and we'll just see how that's going to look. If that's across there, so that's going about across the middle. We might even need some further down perhaps. Up the top there. And this one will be tucked in down the bottom there. Yeah, I think we need some more coming out down there. All right. I have some coming down from there. There we go. All right. So I'll just close up that ink pad. And I'll clean that off in a moment. Alrighty. So we've got that inked up. Now what we'll do is we'll stamp our sentiment. I'll set that one aside to dry. And we'll stamp our sentiment. And we're going to be using our heat tool, which I actually don't have plugged in. So let me just quickly plug that in. I forgot to plug that in because I had my devices plugged in. So I'll just quickly unplug my phone for a moment. And we'll plug in the heat tool and we'll be ready to go. So we're going to be stamping in Versamark ink, and then we're going to be embossing in white embossing powder. So let me bring in my papers here. Okay, getting everything all organized. Alrighty. So we'll just ink up our sentiment stamp, and we're going to stamp that down on our label. Now, as I said to you before, I'm going to have to just pop my head in here so that I can see. I'll bring that down a bit closer to me. As I said to you before, I'm just using the stitched rectangle dies for the sentiment label. There we go. All right, now while that ink is still wet, I will use my embossing powder and just sprinkle that with my white embossing powder. And we're going to tap the excess off that. I always like to use the back of my paintbrush, and then if there's any stray little grains, I should say, of embossing powder, then you can just brush them away with your brush. And then pop that embossing powder back into your container. And always do that, always put away your embossing powder before you start heating your piece, because if you have that embossing powder open, oops, there's a little bit just on there. If you have that container of embossing powder open and you accidentally wave the heat tool in that direction, you might accidentally melt the whole container of embossing powder, and then you'll be very sad. So I always say to all of my ladies, remember to put away your embossing powder first before you start heating. All right, and I'm going to hold this with a pair of tweezers because as the sentiment fills the cardstock and I don't want to burn my fingers. Oh, hey Glenda, how you going? Great to see you today. Okay, so just heat the heat tool up for a couple of moments, and then we can bring that in. And then as soon as you start to see that embossing powder start to melt and become shiny, then move your heat tool across the rest of your piece. Because you don't want to leave it too long in one place because it can burn your cardstock, and it can also burn the embossing powder, and then if the embossing powder becomes burnt, it'll actually lose its luster and it will become very flat. There we go. So that is done. All right, I think we are ready to start constructing. Alrighty, so the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to put the designer series paper onto my base. Now, because this time I'm filling the entire front with my designer series paper, I'm going to use Tombow glue. Oops. Usually I use my tape runner or my tear and tape when I'm using my DSP, but I'm going to use my Tombow multi-purpose liquid glue. So we call it Tombow glue, but in the catalogue, in the annual catalogue, you actually find it under multi-purpose liquid glue, and that's in the adhesive section. But it is Tombow brand of glue. Oops. And the reason that I'm using that is because it is a liquid glue and it gives me the opportunity of having the time to wiggle it around to get it in place on my card front before that glue dries. Whereas if I used tape, it's basically stuck as soon as you put it down. So good idea to stand it up and just push it to the edges. There we go, check that. Yep, that looks pretty good. Then we can smooth it on and press that really firmly. So when you're using the liquid glue, just put it in a bit from the edges. I'm not sure if you noticed that I did that, but just put it in a little bit from the edges. You don't want to put it right to the very edge, because if you put it right to the very edge, it actually will ooze out when you put that paper down, and then you'll end up with a sticky mess. Now, one thing I was going to let you know about our multi-purpose liquid glue, which mine looks a bit icky because it's all gluey on the front. This one's nearly empty. It does have two ends, in case you never knew that. Some people don't realize, but it's actually got the fine tip, which we tend to use most. And then at the other end, it's got a broad tip with a spreader. So it's got like this rubber spreader. So you squeeze the glue and you use that rubber bit to smear the glue out along your piece. So a lot of people don't realize that. They just think it's got a green base, but it's actually the other, it's a wide end of the glue. So there you go. And I like to keep mine stored upside down. I've got this little holder that I had made. I ordered these from a guy up on the Central Coast. And I like to keep my glue in here because it keeps it stored upside down. So the glue is always at the tip ready to go. Okay, so that's that bit done. The next bit we are going to do is adhere our card front to our piece of shaded spruce. So for this one, I'm actually going to use my Stampin' Seal. Oh, no worries, Glenda, that you're a little bit late. That's fine. It's great to have you here anyway. Better late than never, I say. All right, so I'm just going to use my Stampin' Seal for this one. Oh, which is very sticky, as you can see. That adheres very well. And for this one, we're just leaving a small, about a 2mm border, I think it was when we measured it. Okay, so that one's down. Now I think what we're going to do is we are going to construct everything onto here first, because then we're going to mount that up onto dimensionals. Oh, in fact, we could do that bit first. We could. Oh, maybe, wait. You know what? I'm being indecisive because I'm just thinking, I hope I've got enough of these branches stamped. So I'm just going to double check with those again before I start adhering everything, because I just want to make sure that everything is good. Oh, I think that's going to be okay. Yep, and that will go there. Yep, okay, let's do that. Alrighty. So we'll put some dimensionals onto the back of this one. I'll use my large Stampin' Dimensionals. And I like to pick mine up with my Take Your Pick tool, my handy dandy tool. If you don't already have a Take Your Pick tool, you can find them in the annual catalogue in the tools section. And they are a fantastic tool. They're a multi-purpose tool and you can use them for lots of different things. And I wouldn't be without mine now. I use it every day. every day, every project that I use, I end up using my multi-purpose, my take a pick tool. All right, oh, where did I put the cap back on that? I still need it. Now I'm going to use the end of it just to flick the backings off my dimensionals there. I find that's the easiest way to get them off. Easiest and quickest. Oops, there we go. And Glenda, in case you're wondering what we're doing today, we're actually casing the mini catalogue today. I'm creating one of the cards that are on page 33 in your mini catalogue. So then we're just going to pop that in the middle and use my grid paper to make sure that I've got that lined up well. There we go. Great. Okay, so now we've got to bring in all of our little leaves here, and we're going to use a combination of the two colours. We've got Just Jade and Shaded Spruce, and I'm not sure yet how many I'm going to need, so we've just die cut a whole heap of different ones here. And let's lay them out so I can see what I have. There we go. Okay. So I'm thinking first I might pop down my bow, because then I can start tucking things underneath that. So the best thing to use to pop down your bows is the mini glue dots. They are great for embellishments and for ribbons. Now this is a wide ribbon, so I can take that straight to my glue dot and lift the glue dot up off the roll, and then I can adhere that down there like that. There we go. I don't know if I got that quite in the middle. Oh, that's not too bad. All right. And then now we can start popping down all the other elements. Now I'm going to put my sentiment down first. I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back of that one, but I'm only going to put them, I'm not going to put them right out towards the edge, the two ends, because the ends are actually going to hang out over off the white piece here. So we'll just make sure that we've got those. And if ever you're not sure of where to put your dimensionals on a piece, if you turn it upside down over the, so if you're doing layer upon layer like I'm doing here, just lay it over the other piece and then put your dimensionals on, so you can see where your edges are and you can know then where to put your dimensionals down. Okay, so I'll just remove those and pop that down. Helps if I put it up the right way. All right, so let's have a look. So I'm going to pop that one there, these ones up here. So yep, I think that's going to go about there. Whoops. Oh, now I've got my bell stuck on there. Whoopsie. Yep, so we're going to pop it about there. So it's, I guess it's roughly in the middle. Let's just use our grid paper to line that up. Okay, let's see if we got that straight down a little bit. There we go. Okay, and now we can pop up our bells. So I'm going to, now I haven't forgotten about the leaves. I do know that I need to put these leaves on, but I'm trying to still think about where I'm going to put them. So I guess we could just start laying them down really, and then we can pop the bells on over the top, couldn't we? So let's, oh, hi Kathy, how you going? Yes, you just caught me. I'm casing the caddy today. I'm making one of the cards with the Cherish the Season bundle, and it's on page 33 if you wanted to have a look, Kathy. I'm just casing that one. I've just changed it up just slightly and changed some of the colors a little bit, and I've used different ribbon, different DSP, but it's basically the same card. So yeah, just having fun with some of these beautiful new products. Alrighty, so we'll pop down some of these little leaves, just putting some glue down the center there of the leaf, and Might not need another one because we're going to pop the bell there. In fact, I think we need that one out a bit further that way so that we can see it, because otherwise it's going to be hidden by the bell. There, that'll be better. Good. Okay, I'm going to pop some dimensionals onto the back of these bells. Now remember when, I'll add some more of these leaves in a moment, but I'm going to pop down that bell first. Do you remember, I've lost the lid, there we go. Do you remember when before I started colouring these bells, I laid down the tear and tape to hold those little die cut pieces with the holly berries and the leaves on the back? We wanted to hold them in. So I put down that tear and tape, but I'm going to lift the backing of that off now. So the sticky part will still be there to hold the berries and the leaves in, but I want to remove the sticky part because I want to put some dimensionals down on the back there now. And if I left that sticky part on, the dimensionals would not stick to that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be sure to cover all that sticky part up with dimensionals now so that that doesn't stick onto, oh, we don't want all of that extra sticky bit to stick down onto the cardstock. We want that to stay up. And I'm just going to pop a mini down here. There we go. And so let's pop that one on. Oh, you're having trouble sleeping. That's no good, Kathy. Oh, Maddie's going off to training today for the Navy. Oh, I'm not surprised you're not sleeping well then. Oh, that's so hard. How long will she be away for, Kathy? How long do they sort of do their training for? And then once they do their training, are they then, do they return, or they just, then they sort of, I'm not quite sure how it all works. Are they then they just go and they don't come back to the home? Like, do they live away from home from that point? Is what I'm trying to say. Do they live away from home from that point on? Or do they return home after their training? That's going to be a big adjustment for you, Kathy. Not having your baby there. And the other thing is too, do you get to see them when they're doing their training? Do you get to go on visit or anything, or do they get to come home for visits? So I'm going to pop this one up here, and I'm going to slightly overlap them there like that. Actually, you won't see that little one there. That's all right. I'll put another one down. Here we go. We might pop another little leaf. Training is 8 weeks, and then she goes to school for her job. She'll be living away from home now. Oh, okay. So she'll be living away from home from now on. Oh, that's so sad. Be good for her though. It will be good for her, and I'm sure you're very proud of her. But it will be a bit of an adjustment, no doubt. I hope it all goes well for her. All right, so I'm going to pop another leaf down there. I had one of my nephews here in Australia. He joined the Navy pretty well straight out of school, actually. And he did a few years with the Navy, and he did a few tours and things like that. But he didn't end up staying with it. He ended up leaving the Navy. It ended up not being, he decided it wasn't what he wanted to do. So he, yeah, so he left. But I mean, he had to wait. I think he had to wait because they have to serve a certain amount of time first before they're allowed to leave, I think was how it went. But I can't fit another one in there, so we won't worry about that one. All right, so let's do this one here. Yeah, but he did a few. He was in there for a few years, and some of the stories he told me, or he told us, of some of the things that they did and some of the tours that they did was, yes, very new experience for me. to think of those things. But I guess you kind of know what to expect, Kathy, being that you were in the forces as well at one point. You can't see her while she's in boot camp. Oh no, so you didn't get to see her for that full 8 weeks. Hope to have her home for Christmas for a visit. Oh, that'll be great. Yes, I'm sure you are very proud of her. That'll be a long 8 weeks. Is she able to communicate with you at all? Is she allowed to send you home messages or emails or call home or anything like that? So I'm now just putting the dimensionals down onto this other sticky, the other bell, the largest bell. And you'll notice I'm using up all of my edge pieces here. And I'm just covering up the tear and I was going to say tear and tape. Yes, it was tear and tape. That's right. The tear and tape that I put down there, so that I've got that sticky covered up there. So it is a lot more dimensionals than I would probably ordinarily use, but because I'm just trying to cover up that tear and tape, that's why I've put so many down on there, and just utilizing all of my little edge pieces. There we go. All right. Okay. So does anybody else have this bundle yet? This stamp set and die bundle? Have you used it? Unfortunately, she will not be on a ship, but she will be traveling a lot. Oh, okay. No communication while in boot camp. Oh, so absolutely cut off for that whole 8 weeks. But once it's done, she'll be able to call anytime. Oh, that's good. Oh, wow. So you can't even talk to her for 8 weeks. That's really hard. Wow. I'm not surprised you're not able to sleep then in that case, Kathy. I would imagine I would be feeling quite the same. All right, so this big bell is going over this side, and then we're going to tuck in some of these other little branches to fill this space over here. This is looking really pretty. It's taking me a little longer than I expected though. Thank you all for hanging in there with me. But it's really pretty. I love these bells. They're gorgeous. And I'm looking forward to making some in our metallics as well, in the metallic cardstock. That'll be really pretty. So I might have one coming down from there as well. Have that one, whoops. That one coming down from out there, and I'll just use my handy dandy take your pick tool again to just push that down. Great. And then we'll have a couple coming down from under here. Might have 2 down there. A little bit more glue there. We might have these ones coming down from, let's see, from down here. One there and another one. We'll do another light coloured one. Coming down from under this way. Oh, no, we won't, because there's a dimensional under there. I'll have that coming out this way instead. Let's see if we can tuck it under there. There we go. There we go. I'll just get rid of that little bit of glue. Glue, glue, glue. Okay. There we go. So that, I think, is done. You can add more leaves if you wanted to, but I think that is plenty because we want to be able to see those stamped leaves as well. So yeah, I'm quite happy with how that has turned out. I think that was a pretty good case. We changed up a few things. We've got the different designer series paper. We've changed the colours a little bit too, because I think in the sample they might have used garden green. I didn't use any garden green today. Bling, thank you Amber, forgot the bling. I don't think in the sample one they actually had bling, but I want to add bling because, as I say, every card needs ribbon and bling. In fact, I was wondering what these would look like as the bling on the, let's have a look and see. I was wondering what these would look like as the berries. I might just do it on this one up here, now that we've coloured them. But we could put bling up there on, oh, that looks great. We've got our red rhinestones there on our bell up the top there. We could put one up here. And then on this one down here, I don't want to do all of these berries, so let's just put one up here. And do you think that's enough bling? That's a lot of bling. How many have we got? 3, 4, 5. Let's go another bling here. 6. Usually like to have an odd number. Oh, thanks Megan. I usually like to have an odd number of bling because it is more aesthetically pleasing to the eye, apparently. Let's just pop one over here. It can be a falling berry. That one can be a falling one. Actually, no, I don't think I like it there. Let's pop it down here somewhere. There we go. I don't know, I might move that one. We'll see, I'll fiddle with that one later. But anyway, there you go. So there is our finished project using the Cherish the Seasons bundle. And that one is cased from the caddy. So if I bring in the catalogue and we can have a look and see, there's mine and there's the one in the catalogue. So just by changing, I mean, it's quite similar. The layout is basically the same, only I've added different DSP here from the same pack, but a different one. I've also added here a layer of garden green cardstock. Oh, no, not garden green, shaded spruce, sorry, shaded spruce. And then we've used the Just Jade for the sentiment and the Just Jade and the shaded spruce for the pine leaves. Yeah. And coloured the leaves on the holly leaves on the bells a little bit different and use different ribbon. So there you go. So as you can see, oh, you like mine much better. Thanks, Tina Marie. As you can see, the as I said, we get so many ideas from all of the sample projects in the catalogue, and then you can copy them exactly, or you can just change up a few things to make it a little bit different and make it more of your own and add your own touches. But it's a great starting point is having these as a sample too, especially if you don't have much time or you can't think of what to make. You can use them as a starting point. So there we go. Okay, so I will now tip the camera back up to my face so that I can say goodbye to you all in person, because I always like to do that. So just give me a moment. I'll cover up the camera and I'll flip it up. Okay. And I'll be right back with you in just a moment. Oops, let's get that right down there. Thanks, Kathy. Alrighty, adjust the lights, flick the cameras, and hopefully we'll be back. There we go. And let me just adjust that down. Okay, there we go. So I'll wait until that comes back up. Yep, okay, good. Can see that, and that's straight. Oh, good. All right, so there's my card. I hope you really like that one. It's turned out really pretty, very pretty. Those bells are gorgeous. Oh, I love having the berries in the bling on that one. It's so pretty. I mean, you could do it on this one too, but it would use up a lot of bling. So depends on how much bling you want to use. Thank you. Yes, lights, camera, action. That's exactly what it's like. Because I'm only using the one camera, I've got to keep adjusting my stand. So, thank you everyone. I'm glad that you liked that one. So yeah, so use those ideas that are in the catalogs. All of the catalogs have samples in them like that you can use to get inspiration for your own creativity. So make sure that you use them. Now remember too that, I'm going to tip that camera down again. I keep doing that. I keep chopping my head off. Oh, I just saw Amber's response to Tina, lights, camera, action, wiggles. Yeah, that was a Wiggles song many years ago. Oh, you're very welcome, Megan. Thank you so much for being here. Well, I hope you enjoyed that, everybody, and thank you all for being here. Remember that if you are not already a demonstrator and you're looking for a demonstrator, I would love to help you. If you were looking at purchasing or ordering the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, it will be available to customers from the 1st of September. However, if you join Stampin' Up now, then you can get it in your starter kit for only $169 instead of $209. So you'll be saving $40 on your machine, plus you'll get an extra $26 of product to choose in your starter kit as well. So another great reason to join Stampin' Up and my team. I would love to have you on my team. So if you would like more information about that, please let me know, and I'd love to have a chat with you about that. But until next week, I hope that you all have a great week. I hope that you all stay safe. Kathy, I'll be thinking of you as you farewell your daughter as she goes off to the Navy for her training. And yes, you'll be in my thoughts and prayers. Everyone else, I hope you have a great week, and I hope you do have a great week too, Kathy, even though you'll be missing her. Keep yourself busy, keep creating. It's a good distraction. So have a great week, everyone. I look forward to seeing you all again next Monday at 4 o'clock. Until then, happy crafting, everyone. Bye.